Hey guys, Crochet Canuck here. I'm coming to you today from my dining room again. I'm probably going to be coming to you from my dining room from now on because I have no reason to sit in the other room anymore because I don't have a computer in there anymore. I got rid of that computer because it was just really old. I got it about 5 or 6 years ago, and it was refurbished when I got it, and it was just a really basic cheap computer, and so the specs in it are not very good. It only had like 1 meg of RAM and like a really small hard drive, and it kept freezing, and I would get messages popping up that I was running out of memory, and it was just really slow, and it was like really big, and just it wouldn't fit properly in the computer desk. I don't know how I managed keeping that computer so long. It just, there's so many reasons it just had to go. And like, it was so old, it was still running Windows XP. That's how old it is. And there have been, I think they're on their like 5th version of Windows since XP now, because there's been like Vista and 7 and 8, 8.1, and they're about to release 10 now, I think. Windows 10. So that's how old that computer was. It was just time for it to go. Also, the desk that it's sitting on is one of those computer desks that has like a cupboard on the side to put the tower in, and the tower was just so huge it would not even fit in the little cupboard. I don't know who designed that thing. And also the USB ports were on the back of the tower. So I had to store the tower under the desk, and I couldn't sit at the desk properly because this giant tower was under it. I couldn't push my chair in. Every time I needed to use the USB ports to upload a video or whatever, I had to pull the tower out from under the desk, and it was so heavy, and it was, I don't know how I survived this long with that computer, but it was just time for it to go. But now I have this nice big empty desk to do my crafting at, so that's what I'm using it for now, although we're probably going to get rid of it soon anyways because it's like really old and just reasons. we're purging a lot of stuff around here. So there's that. So I got my new laptop. It's right here. It's nice and shiny and silver. Oh, it's on screensaver mode. I was going to show you my cute, oh, there we go. My cute sheep background. I just did a random image search, Google image search for sheep, and I found that one. It's so cute. But anyways, so I keep my laptop here at the dining room table now. I'm just adjusting the camera. Sorry about that. So I keep it at the dining room table because it's uncomfortable to sit at that desk now because it's one of those desks that has like a pull-out keyboard. So the top of the desk is too high and uncomfortable to type at, and the pull-out drawer for the keyboard is just, it's really old and flimsy, and I don't trust it to hold my laptop on there. So I don't use that desk for the computer anymore. So I just sit at the dining room table. And my husband's laptop is here too, so we sit here together, and it's just easier and better that way. So yeah, so I'm probably going to be doing my videos from here from now on, and that's going to be better because there's a lot more light here. There's more light bulbs in this light, and there's the big balcony door that has a lot of light coming in, so I think this will be better. So yeah, so today's video is going to be a haul. Because my birthday is coming up in a few days, and so for a birthday treat, my husband drove me and a friend out of town to a city called St. Catharines, where they have a huge bookstore called the Book Outlet. And what they do there is they take books that publishers couldn't sell for whatever reason. Either the publishers had overstock, or the books were damaged in some way that the publishers couldn't sell them for full price. They have a scratch and dent section in this store too for the damaged ones. But most of them are just overstock that they couldn't sell for whatever reason, and they take these books from publishers and they sell them at like a small fraction of the cover price. So the books are so cheap. So we decided to take a drive up there and check it out. And so we got a small pile of books. My husband and I got a total of like 8 books, I think. 8 or 9 books, and it came to like just under $50, so that's not bad for like practically brand new books. I think we only got a couple from the scratch and dent section. So the first couple books I got are part of the Stitch and Bitch series of books. I have 3 of them. I have the Happy Hooker, which is the crocheting book. I have the first Stitch and Bitch, which is knitting book, like the basics of learning how to knit. And I have Stitch and Bitch Nation, which is a collection of knitting patterns from people just all around America. So that's why it's Stitch and Bitch Nation. Although I don't knit very much, but I'm hoping that having these books will inspire me more to get into knitting. I only know the basics of knitting, and I've only ever made like a scarf. But I'm hoping to learn more and get more into it. I don't know, I don't enjoy it as much as crochet, but I want to enjoy it more, so I'm hoping these books will help inspire me to do that. The first one I got was Son of Stitch and Bitch, because we all know how hard it is to find patterns for things for guys. And this is all things to knit and crochet for guys. Although it's very disappointing, because although it says knit and crochet and 45 projects, only 4 of them are crochet. So that was a very big disappointment. But there's a lot of really nice things in here, so hopefully I will learn to knit well enough to do some of the things in here. Otherwise it's just going to sit on my shelf, because there's not very much for a crocheter in here. It's kind of disappointing. But the things in here are really nice to look at, though. And there's a lot of information at the beginning and stuff, so... and the price isn't too bad, actually, because cover price is $19.95 in Canada, and I got it for $5.99, so that's actually a really good deal. So it's not too bad for a book that might spend a lot of time on my shelf. And then the second one is Stitch and Bitch Superstar Knitting, which is kind of like, it's kind of a sequel to the first Stitch and Bitch. The first one was just the basics of knitting. This is beyond the basics, so you learn techniques. Colorwork techniques like Intarsia and Fair Isle, and other techniques like cabling and knitting with beads and knitting lace and stuff like that. So I thought that would be a good reference to have in case I actually get really into knitting, which I hope I do. I'm trying. I'm trying to like it more. And then the next one, oh, and I don't know what the cover price is for this because I don't see it. There's just like some random sticker on the back covering the cover, so I don't know what the cover price is, but I assume it's similar to this, somewhere around $20, and I got it for $8.99, so that's not too bad. The next book I got is Hooked for Life, Adventures of a Crochet Zealot. This book it's like a compilation of short stories about crocheting. It's sort of similar, from what I understand, it's kind of like a chicken soup kind of book, but the stories are all about crocheting. And I really like that kind of thing. I like short story compilations like that. And I have read 1 or 2 about knitting, but I haven't seen anything about crochet, so when I randomly saw this on the shelf, I had to have it. The cover price is $15.99, and it did have one of these big book outlet stickers on it, but it came off because it wasn't very sticky. It just fell off. But it was $1.99. So for $2, I was like, yeah, this is mine. So I can't wait to read that. I'm so excited. And then the next 2 books they don't really have anything to do with crafting, but as I've mentioned before, I love to bake. So the first one I got is Cupcakes, Cookies, and Pie, Oh My. This is the 3rd installation in this cupcake series. I have the first 2. I found the first one at a Goodwill store, and I found the second one on a clearance table at a grocery store, actually. And this is the 3rd installation, and there's just so many awesome ideas in here for cupcakes and cookies, and I love it. And I can't wait to make things out of here. So there is that. I don't know what the cover price is because there is nothing printed on the cover, and there was a sticker, but it's ripped off. But these usually go for somewhere around $25–30 around here, and I got it for $8.99, so that's not a bad deal. And then this book, the M&M cookbook, is just a whole bunch of various desserts with M&Ms in them, and I'm obsessed with M&Ms. They're like one of my favorite candies, and I love collecting like little M&Ms collectibles. I love them. I don't know why, but I love them. And so I saw this book and I had to have it. This is from the scratch and dent section of the store because it's missing the flap on the back cover. But I really don't care. I don't much care about dust covers, really. I would have bought it if it didn't have a dust cover. So I don't know what the cover price is because there's no cover price on it. But I'm assuming it would have probably been somewhere around $20, knowing book prices in Canada. And it was only $4 in the Scratch and Dent, so I was like, yeah, this is mine. I gotta have that. So those are all the books I bought. My husband got a few too, but I don't need to show those. And then my friend who came with us also brought me a big bag of yarn because her great aunt was recently put in a nursing home and couldn't take all this yarn with her. So I'm going to do a bit of a yarn haul now. So there's a whole bunch of unused skeins in the bag. So the first one I have here is just acrylic white from Sears, apparently. I did not know that Sears sold yarn. I don't know if they ever did here in Canada. They might have in the States, but I don't. If they did in Canada, it was when I was too young to know about it. But they don't sell yarn at Sears anymore, so I don't know how old this is. So it's just acrylic in white. And then I have this Acrylin knitting worsted. I've never heard of that brand. No idea where it's from. It's just 100% acrylic yarn in like an off-white kind of beige kind of color. Actually more like an oatmeal kind of color, I would say. And then there's this 100% acrylic. There's not even like a brand name on it. It's just acrylic. There's no color name on it, but it's like variegated whites, browns, and blues. And then I have these two. They look the same. They're both white with like a sparkly white thread going through it. I don't know if you can see that. This is Jamie Baby Yarn, which I've never heard of. And this is Bouquet Sparklet. I've heard of Bouquet, but I haven't seen it around much. So they're different brands, but they look like the same yarn. They're both acrylic, and they're both really pretty. And then I just have this random no brand light green yarn. Fiber content unknown, but I'm assuming it's acrylic because it feels like acrylic. Then I have this Peyton's Beehive. There's no color name, there's just a number, but it's like a light mint green. And there's a sparkly thread going through it. I don't know if you can really see, but there's a sparkly thread. And then I have a few balls of Christmas yarn. This is just red, but it says Christmas yarn. It's Bouquet brand again. And then I have these two. These are both Caron Christmas Glitter. Now we do have Caron yarn here. We just started getting it at Michael's like a couple years ago. But we just have the regular like Caron Simply Soft and the Caron 1 pound. I have never seen any Caron Christmas yarn here. But this is really pretty. I want more. I don't know if it even exists anymore. I have no idea how old all of this yarn is, so I don't know, but I want more. It is so pretty. So there's just a red with a silver sparkle going through it, and red, green, and white variegated with silver sparkle going through it. So it's really pretty, and I can't wait to use it. And I know Christmas just ended, but I'm like excited to start crocheting Christmas stuff for next Christmas because I never got around to it this Christmas. So maybe I will start that soon. Who knows? And then I have this, I don't even know, is it brown? Like a light brown, brownish taupe. I don't even know what it is. There's no color name, just a number. And White Rose was a store that used to exist, actually just like down the street around the corner, and it closed down like 10, 15 years ago. So that's really old. So yeah, it's just acrylic, 100% acrylic yarn. And then I have these, oh, hold on. These 3 skeins and a ball of this, it says rug yarn. Oh, and Woolworth Woolco is a store that closed down when I was like 6 or something, so this is really old yarn. It says rug yarn on the front here, but it says it can be used for rugs, bags, pot holders, hats, sweaters, toys, mats, afghans. It's 75% rayon, 25% cotton, so it's not really that soft. So I don't know if I would use it for anything that's going to go against my skin. And I don't know what I'm going to use it for really, because I'm not a big fan of this color. It's like a dark coppery kind of color, or a rust kind of color. I think it's more rust. I don't know. I don't know what I would use that for, but I'm sure I'll find something. And then I have this bag of random skeins. More from that Woolco Woolworth that doesn't exist anymore. That's a skein of mustard, skein of the same in white, skein of the same in a bright green. I don't know if there's an actual, oh, it just says spring green. And then there's this random, I don't think it's the same brand, I don't know, there's no label, but it's like a school bus yellow, kind of like a dark orangey yellow. And then there's a couple of partial skeins of different browns. And then there is a bunch of granny squares that someone made and didn't use for anything. Oh, and there's another copper. This is acrylic though, it's not the same as that rug yarn. This is just regular acrylic yarn. And I'm making quite the mess here. And then there is one more little bag here. We're almost done. This just has a bunch of scrap balls in it. And then there are some pom-poms, which if I can find some yarn in these same colors, I might make hats and put these on them. And there were also 3 little tiny pom-poms, and I just threw them on the floor for the cats to play with, and that was a good idea because they really like them. They're going nuts over them. And then, oh, there's a couple more scrap balls of yarn in here, and then there is this skein of macrame cord. You can't use this to knit or crochet. It's like really stiff and rough. It will not work for knit and crochet, I don't think. But it says it's for macrame and other craft uses. And I do have some craft books that have macrame instructions in them, and I've kind of been interested in trying macrame, so I might have to use that for that. And if I do, I will make a video and let you know how it goes. So yeah, I think I've showed you everything I need to show you today. I need to clean up this mess. I hope this video wasn't too long. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And I'm going to end it now because I think it is a little too long. And I'm going to clean up this mess. So yeah, hopefully I will have some finished items to show you soon. There are some things I have planned. I'm not going to go into too much detail because this video is too long. But hopefully I'll have more videos up soon. And I hope everybody's been having a good week. And happy crafting!